There's ROCKSTEADY at King of the Pit TV.
There's ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV. This is track number 3 of 13. 3 cheers for Sweet Revenge. That's 333. 3 minutes 01. Let's go.
He calls the mansion not a house but a tomb. He's always choking from the stench and the fume. The wedding party all collapsed in the room. So send my resignation.
Who's the dude? The front man? Man, we got some credits here. Gerard Way. He's always got a wobble to his voice. It's a very unique means of separating him from his counterparts. So we've got lead vocals and backing vocals, Gerard Way. Frank Calero on backing and rhythm guitar, Eric Miller unknown. Howard Benson on the organ. Drums and percussions, Matt Pellissier. Bass guitar, Mikey Way. So have we got brothers in the band? Bass guitar and frontman.
Let's go down. This elevator only goes up to 10. He's not around, he's always looking at man. Down by the pool, he doesn't have many friends. As they are face out and bloated, step or shout with the lamb. If you marry me, would you bury me? Would you carry me to the end? To the last you say, to the life you make, to the hearts you break and all the cyanide you drank. She keeps a picture of the body she lends. Got nasty blisters from the money she spends. She's got a life of her own and it shows by the bed. She's got that 90.
So this band either went on hiatus or supposedly broke up for a bit, right, and only came back as of recent. I think that's wild, because if you reach the level disbanded, the fan base disbanded, financially speaking, now don't get me wrong, I know they signed this contract, and you know what it's like when you sign a contract to these labels, at least some people do. It's not a good thing for the most part, financially speaking, but then again, it does market you to a broad, selection of people as to which might actually be financially viable. It's all part of the business, right? But what do you do when you're in My Chemical Romance and then 2 members of the band says, you know what, it's not for me no more, I want to quit? Especially if they're the songwriters, imagine that. So they continue creating revenue, whereas you're just sort of left on the wayside. Imagine how many times that's happened. So what I'm trying to say is that the songwriters continue getting royalties, on a regular basis, or a relatively regular basis. Could be quarter annual, could be annual, I don't know, it depends on the society and so forth. Don't talk to me about it, I don't know that much, but I know so much. And I know that the songwriter is going to get consistent credit, consistent royalty from the lyrical content, if not the actual songwriting percentage, if they've worked it out in person on the record. Whereas those whom haven't provided, rightfully so, don't get anything. So, you could say, well, they should have argued the credit, or they should have put in sufficient material to receive a credit on the record, and that's their own fault. But it must be a bleak situation, you know what I mean? 20 odd years in, and then the band breaks up, and you see nothing of it.
If you ever say never too late, I'll forget all the time that you hate. Lost in coma and covered in cake, and crystal medication, shallow vows at the way. Marry me, would you bury me? Would you carry me to the end? To the last you say, to the life you make, to
cool lead guitar in this bit. This song. I'm starting to slur my words and speak a little bit slower, people. I apologise. I'm going to get through this record tonight in a perfect world, but it is getting on a little bit. Isn't it kind of mad how this whole emo sort of thing sort of reference suicide so much? And I'm sure there's when you come to your teenage years, you start to rebel against the norm, and you find yourself, and in doing so, you rebel against what you know, which is your parents and so forth, and rebel against life would be to promote and find comfort in death. So it speaks very clearly to the alternate, edgy, outcasted, rebellious, pubescent youth, and I can see why they created such a movement. But it's very quite bleak as well, because you don't know what you're promoting. Some people are probably having a real hard time and will find comfort in the music, but to the same degree, you don't want to create a form of art which aids them in taking the plunge into something quite serious. Track number 4 coming up. You know what they do to guys like us in prison, alright? So let's keep things moving.